I have always loved Star Wars. It was always a franchise that piqued my curiosity, and every time that I would watch a movie, I would want to watch another, and every time I read a novel, I would want to rush to the bookstore to purchase another. And many of the Star Wars video games really shaped my love for role-playing games. I fell in love with Knights of the Old Republic really hard and really fast. I probably played the game about 3 times in a row, and when Star Wars The Old Republic, the MMO, was released, I could not wait to get a better PC just to play it, since it really held my love for MMOs as well. I have had a long history with Star Wars, and like many fans, that love has been in a very rocky place for a very long time now. The downfall of my love for the Star Wars franchise was around Episode 7. That's when it really started. Now, Episode 7 was not awful in my opinion, I just am not a fan of the characters. I really dislike Rey because they wanted her to be the star. It was too pushed. It was too forced. She has just always been too much of a Mary Sue in my opinion, and I just really did not like Finn. I did not like Poe all that much. I just did not like the cast of characters that there was in the movies. They never really held my attention. But over the weekend was Star Wars Celebration, and I really wanted to talk about it just a little bit. All of the information that we have on new releases and new expansions for games, as well as I really wanted to talk about my reaction to the trailer. In the description, I will have the timestamps between the discussion of the game releases and information, and then also the movie reaction, which will be last. Battlefront 2015 came out, and I will be honest, I really enjoyed it. I was a fan of the game itself, not the monetization that followed it, but it made me feel very nostalgic as a lover of Star Wars for such a long time, and then Battlefront 2 came out, and I barely picked it up. EA did put a pretty bad taste in my mouth when it came to Star Wars and the games that they have created, because they popularized loot boxes. And Jedi Fallen Order looks good. Now, I am only judging this off of the story trailer since that's all they had released over the weekend, but the storyline that follows a Padawan that is one of the last Jedi and you must do whatever it takes to survive is a really compelling concept in my opinion. I am a fan of older generation of Star Wars way before the movies along the timelines of Knights of the Old Republic, which falls, I believe, 3,000 years in the past. But I do like the timing of this game, and I do think that the timing of this game is going to add to the many Star Wars titles that already exist. Now, this is EA, and I am really hesitant to be excited. Even though they said that there will be no microtransactions, no multiplayer, I am just not convinced that I will want to purchase this game at full price. EA popularized the loot boxes, and now that they want to be applauded for not putting them in this one specific new release seems kind of shoddy to me. Just feels like they know that fans are angry with them for their past decisions, but they are going to up and redeem themselves with this one new particular release, and I'm not sure if that is the way that it is really going to work, but I am excited to see gameplay for the game. I am intrigued at this point, and with the information that we have right now, but it's not releasing until November 15th, 2019, so we still have a long way to go before we can actually get our hands on this new release. I do hope that we see gameplay maybe within the next month or two, but who knows. Now, even though I am pretty critical of EA and BioWare are the ones running Star Wars The Old Republic, the MMO. And I love the MMO. Honestly, I play this game a lot. I played this game since right around a year after launch, and I am fairly caught up with all of the content, though they did announce Onslaught, the newest expansion for the game, and the description that we got for it says, Star Wars The Old Republic Onslaught puts you at the center of the reignited war between the Galactic Republic and the Sith Empire. Will you remain loyal to your faction, or work to undermine and sabotage their war efforts? The choice is yours. It also says, explore 2 new planets, a new flashpoint on the war-torn world of Corellia, I really like Corellia, and a new operation set in a lush jungles of Dun and more. Reap the soils of war with reworked itemization, an increased level cap, and new abilities. Star Wars The Old Republic Onslaught is coming September 2019, free to all subscribers. And I am very excited. This did get me pretty excited. Also, seeing the concept arts for this really got my attention. We're also seeing On Dendron, and we are seeing Meksha, I think that's how you say it, as new planets, and I have to say that I am really looking forward to more details on this new expansion. I have one of every class max leveled in this game, and I hope it will be a good final chapter to the story currently. Star Wars The Old Republic is the best story-driven MMO that there is. No MMO has rivaled its storytelling besides maybe World of Warcraft due to all of the years that they have put into it. My worry here, though, is it will be what Star Wars The Old Republic's expansions usually are. There's a bad guy, you're the good guy, even if you're evil, and you have to kill the big boss at the end. But when it comes to linear storytelling experiences, what do you expect? I don't expect too much from it, but I do hope that maybe they stray away from that a little bit. My only problem with Star Wars The Old Republic, as someone that has played it for years upon years upon years, is that there are 8 classes. And they have said before that they cannot add in new classes due to the way that they actually created the game from the ground up. So my problem is no new classes. Now, I play a lot of MMOs, like something like Black Desert Online, where we get about 2 new classes a year. And that's been pretty consistent since launch. I wish that they could add in new classes to Star Wars The Old Republic. I really think that that would help my love for it grow even more and keep me enticed in the game, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. It's been a couple of years now since the game came out, and we haven't seen any new classes, but I am hopeful for this expansion, and I definitely personally plan on playing it. I play every new expansion when they launch. Usually I'll buy a subscription for a month, play it, catch up, and then I'll either take a break or I'll continue, but I do plan on playing in this expansion, and I cannot wait to see more spoilers for this expansion. I'm very excited for it. Now, before I get into my thoughts and opinions on Episode 9, spoiler alert, I am going to be talking a lot about the trailer itself. I'm not going to describe the whole trailer, I'm just going to talk about my thoughts and opinions on it. But I don't do a whole lot of movie reactions or trailer reactions, but I thought that I would add this in since it was Star Wars Celebration weekend. I did watch it, I think everyone watched it, and a couple of you really wanted to see me talk a little bit about my thoughts on it, so I guess we'll throw this in. If you are interested in this, then keep on watching. Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. I am pretty intrigued. I didn't really care much for Episode 7, I really disliked Episode 8, but 9 is looking a little bit better. I sat through the trailer without rolling my eyes, which is a plus. Seeing the characters of the trilogy like Rey, Finn, Poe, Kylo were okay. The scenes that they put into the trailer were actually really good scenes, but we didn't have a lot of information from it from a storyline purpose. These are characters that I just do not have an emotional attachment to. They have killed off all of those characters, which is why my excitement for this is pretty low going into this episode of the franchise. I am not really a fan of the casting for these movies, and I think that they just could have been stronger actors to play the parts. But that's just my opinion. But watching the trailer again, we really do not know what the plot will be about besides following Rey, the Forcer, to the site of a crashed and destroyed Death Star. Which Death Star? Who knows? And who knows what will really happen from there in the plot. I'm going to be honest, I am still really confused as to where they are going with the movie in regards to Rey and Kylo, or Ben, whichever you want to call him. So in the novels, Han and Leia had twins named Jacen and Jania, and I personally think that they are mirroring that, and they are going with Jacen and Jania being Rey and Kylo, or Ben, whichever you want to call him. From the beginning of the trilogy, with the awkward way that the characters interact, with the way that they're intertwined, I just felt as though if they went with this storyline, it would be good, and I feel like they did go with the storyline, only they changed the names and we weren't going to know until the very, very end. And I still feel this way after seeing the trailer. Why would Rey have such an emotional attachment to Han, Leia, Luke, and Kylo? Yet she can't quite pin down why she feels emotionally attached to them. So in the novels, Jania was a Jedi, and Jacen became Darth Caedus, which is still mirroring that same story. Kylo is a Sith, Rey is a Jedi, or she likes to believe she is because she can swing a stick around. So I still have my money being on that they went with that for these characters. I just don't know why it had to take 3 movies to finally get there. If this was the case, I would be pretty happy. I'm just going to be honest. I really like when movies take a spin from the novels or the written lore. Even though they uncanonized most of the novels, I still think it would be great for that to be the case. in regards to these movies. I would really like to see the Jason and Jania and the Rey and Kylo storyline here. The highlight of the trailer for me was Palpatine's laugh. It got me really excited and really curious. Is the Death Star that we are looking at the first in the prototype, or is it the second one, the one we saw destroyed in the original trilogy? I feel as though it's the second due to not only the landscape that we saw in the scene, but also I feel like it would just be better for storyline purposes if it was to be the one that we saw on the big screen, the Death Star we all love and know. So I was really excited about Palpatine being teased, though it made me pretty disappointed at the same time. I'm really glad that they're bringing back a character like Palpatine. Since Palpatine is back, I really feel like they killed off the redemption story arc of Anakin. Since the death of the Emperor was really the redemption arc for Darth Vader, also known as Anakin's life. So I feel like it's awesome to see a returning character, but I was really disappointed to know that they took that moment of history away. The past movie, my main complaint was going into episode 9, there was going to be no Skywalkers, and here we go, there's a Skywalker, but who is it? Is it Rey? Is it Kylo? Is it both of them? Is Luke still alive? A Skywalker we haven't met? I feel like they had to put Skywalker in the title, honestly, or no one would even watch the trailer at this point, never mind the movie, so they definitely had to play off of the Skywalker name here. But I can't judge much more on the movie since we really do not have any more details besides a December release date, and we have this trailer, which is better than nothing. But those are my overall first thoughts on Episode 9's first trailer and my thoughts on the news regarding the games that follow the Star Wars franchise. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like, and if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either which way. Please let me know in the comments down below if you are excited about any of the games that I talked about, any of the expansions that I talked about, and let me know how you enjoyed my small first impressions to the movie trailer. I hope that you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you guys again really soon.